didn't know I had an armor-fitting kink, but I do.
Welcome in, listeners. This is Margin Mavens, a podcast hosted by Steph and Kayla, where we share our thoughts on all things literature. Today's episode is about The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, a story about Sybil, a diviner whose life is flipped upside down when her fellow diviners begin to disappear. We're joined by honorary maven Izzy, aka Izzy Seal Books, who will someday publish her novel instead of teasing me with it. Now, make sure to grab a snack and a drink, unless you're driving, then 10 and 2, and come hang out with us while we dive in. So, listeners, Rachel Gillig did it again.
Ooh.
Did it better than One Dark Window, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like One Dark Window, you know, it's a great book. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah. Right.
But it's sort of like, for lack of a better word, blue-balled me a little bit.
Yes.
It blue-balled me. Like, because I love the world, I loved the story, but the romance was light.
It was in the first book.
And then it's seamlessly interwoven into the first installment.
The yearning, the banter, everything is so much better in The Knight and the Moth. Yearning.
Her being a muscle mommy and him loving that.
If I see any art where she is not muscle mommy,
I'm so tired.
I swear.
I'm so tired. Y'all, get it together. I cannot see any more Anya Taylor-Joy Sybil's. She is a muscle mommy.
She is built, okay? He can't wrap his hand around her muscles.
Around her bicep.
I need you to keep that in mind when you're drawing her.
I don't want to see willowy Sybil.
No, she's not willowy.
She's not.
She is a beast in, like, the best way possible.
Oh, like with her hammer and chisel.
Yes.
That was something I didn't know I needed, was a woman with a hammer and chisel.
Hammer and a chisel, yeah. Who knows how to use it, too.
Who knows how to use it?
That's the other part. She doesn't just have it. She knows how to use it.
This is definitely the book that has made Rachel Gillig an Insta-buy author for me.
Yes.
She's quickly joining the ranks of Samantha Shannon and Sylvia Moreno Garcia for me.
This whole book, y'all don't understand, okay? This whole book, from start to finish, no complaints, okay?
No notes.
I think I scared the crap out of my husband at the end with the amount of screaming I was doing. That will come later.
Yeah.
We're gonna work in some semblance of order.
Yeah,
here.
let's begin. Let's begin.
God, I'm looking at my notes. The gargoyle has to be the fan favorite, right?
Absolutely. And you know, here's the thing about the gargoyle. I was worried.
I was.
I was worried he was going to be annoying.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of like little magical or talking animal side friends.
Yes.
I find them kind of irritating.
No, they mostly are, yes.
Especially when they're horny. Like, I hate it. It's not cute. It's weird. I don't like horny little animal side characters or little creatures. So I really, once we learned that the gargoyle.
Yes.
The gargoyle was going to be just kind of a grumpy little whiny crybaby.
I loved it. Oh, my favorite character, hands down.
We all wish we were Sybil. We're all the gargoyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I was the gargoyle. Like, just let me be allowed to make random crass remarks whenever I want.
And cry.
You
need a blanket over your face when you sleep.
To sleep.
And
I'm looking at my notes real quick. And I have, right off the bat, okay, The gargoyles calling the diviners Bartholomew really cracks me up. Was that the name of the very first diviner? Anyway, I just hurt my own feelings all over again. Thought I would hurt y'all's too.
I think that's the other thing about him as a side character, because a lot of the time, the magical tiny little side creatures that join feel kind of like when Disney adds in like cute little things to sell as plushies.
Yeah.
But the gargoyle is important. He's earned
Yes.
by the end. He needs to be there.
Yes. He's actually like an important piece of the entire story.
All the side characters are super important, like Maud and Benji.
Yes. So I'm gonna need you to read Red Queen.
I have
now that
it.
you've read The Knight and The Moth, because after I suspected things and then it happened, I was like, I can't handle this back to back. This is painful.
Interesting.
I have regrets.
Okay.
Do not read The Knight and the Moth back to back with Red Queen. You will hurt your own feelings.
While we talk about side characters, I want to talk about the Six Maidens. You know, it's very difficult.
The audacity.
To, in a limited amount of time, make me care about people named 1 through 6.
Right.
And I came to understand and love the maidens as much as Sybil.
Right.
I was very shocked. And it goes to show that with the right writing, in a very limited amount of time, you can make us care about a group of people and make them vanish. And it doesn't need to be 120 pages of lore. Like,
because it's what? It's like
60?
Maybe? I don't remember when the first one went missing.
Either way, it felt like a breeze. It felt like it was done in a blink. And I gotta say, when we're introduced to the inciting incident of Sybil's fellow maidens vanishing, her not knowing where they've gone, and then Rory showing up and flicking something into her room to help her escape, and then appearing in there. I was like, am I ever gonna understand what's happening? Like,
yes.
I'm here, but I don't know if I have any clue what the fuck is happening, which was nice because I felt with Sybil so frustrated and in wanting of answers.
Like, poor Sybil just wants to know what's happening to her sisters.
Yeah.
And then her life gets flipped upside down because this hot and rude knight comes in.
Yep.
And then, like, all of a sudden her entire world is different.
Yeah.
And as the reader, you don't get the inside scoop. You're with Sybil. So you're like that John Travolta meme where you're just looking around like, what is happening? Why is this happening? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I know.
Like, where are the answers? Can I have some answers, please?
Don't forget the bone-chilling line before Rory comes and takes her away of what have they done to us from one of her fellow maidens.
Yes, when she took the
shroud off.
The shroud off, yeah.
I thought that was such a good moment, not just because for us, the reader, we were like, oh, what? But you understand why throughout the quest, Sybil herself is reticent to remove the shroud because one of her fellow maiden sisters took it off and could not live with what she saw.
Right.
So the whole book, you kind of feel this sort of morbid curiosity of like, just take it off. Let us see. What is it? What is it?
Yes. What are you hiding back there? But then it's like, but also don't.
Yeah. Her having...
Because what if you go missing?
I want to talk about that aspect of the story in relation to the theme of well, let's be honest, the theme of like organized religion that is in this.
In this entire book. Yes.
So like as somebody who grew up in a Christian fundamentalist culture, um there is this aspect in it of you having within you everything you need to be enlightened, and you sort of
Mm-hmm.
feel this like probing deep down inside of you that there's something you're not getting, and you have the power to delve deep, make yourself uncomfortable, and become aware of what has been
Mm-hmm.
done to you. But it's terrifying to do that, because what are you going to learn about you and what you've done if you do that?
Right.
Which is
Right.
what I think the shroud is and her eyes are. At any time, she can take that shroud off and face what's been done to her. But
Mm-hmm.
it's terrifying, and she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to do it. There's a certain amount of deconstruction of the life that she's led that she has to
That she
do
has to, yes, she has
before
to go
she
through
can
that before she can
face
even
it.
start to face what she's been put through. Because she remembers her name. You're not supposed to have, as a diviner, you're not supposed to remember who you were before you became a diviner. And she remembers her name. It's the one thing that she is determined to remember
The hairs are
throughout
standing
all
up
of
on my
this.
arms, because the erasure of identity in favor of control, of in
Yes.
the name of religion, in the name
Yes.
of this kingdom thriving, it's so good that you barely notice it's there. Like you're so immersed that it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
until I closed the book, and I was like, I closed the book and I went, I really like that. I don't even know what the theme was. And then it all just hit me.
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, this is such a smart book.
It is. It's very smartly written. Like, this is an intelligent novel of
I
just deconstructing not just, I think, organized religion, but also like whiteness in general. Like, when you finally have to face the fact, like, especially in what would be considered marginalized communities, so like the
mhm.
white queers, white Latinos, all of that, and like face the fact that your whiteness still brings you privilege even if you are a member of a marginalized community. And just like, I just,
Sybil is brought up with this belief that she's better than everybody outside.
yes.
And this belief kind of makes her blind to the fact that she's also a pawn. She's also imprisoned. And
She's a victim.
it's not until she decides to leave, and it's affected her personally, that spurs her to leave, that she realizes that she's never been valued. She's never been important. She's always been a pawn.
Mm-hmm.
And that that way of making her a victim but also accountable and having her
Yes.
take action, it was just, it's so good. And I think I speak for a lot of people when we're tired of seeing the pretty white girl as a slave. She's a slave in
Right.
mind, she's a slave to some wealthy people. I think this is the right way to
Mm-hmm.
portray victimhood, um like without being like, isn't the most horrifying thing when white people are enslaved? Like
Right.
that's been done to death. It's not good. um it's not good, it's not entertaining, it's
It's
just,
not.
it kind of is nauseating. And I don't know, I felt like Rachel Gillig was very intelligent about how she portrayed Sybil as a victim in this.
I
um
also appreciated that she left not because of a man. She left because she wanted to know what happened to her sisters, and
yes.
like the thread of sisterhood that has been weaved in this entire novel. Um, and when you find what happens, because you do find out what happened
Yes, you
to the
do.
other the other diviners in this book. You don't have to wait for the next one. You find out what happens,
The
and
mystery
it
is
hits
solved.
you as hard as it hits Sybil. And like, you may pick up on what might have happened, but when you get the actual like full truth, it stuns you as much as it stuns Sybil, because she left thinking that she would be able to find her sisters.
The way the mystery is done also feels akin to religious indoctrination, because the whole time you're indoctrinated, you have an inkling of what's actually happening.
Right.
And then once you do the work and uncover everything, the horror of it all sort of overwhelms you. So I want to emphasize that when we say you have an inkling, don't be like, oh, so it's predictable. No, 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 no. It is,
Right.
but it's chilling. The way that it's done, you should kind of know. Just because the themes of the book lend itself to this mystery where you kind of know, but you once you do uncover the extent, it's horrifying.
Oh, yeah. Like, in the Colson Fair part, I
Oh,
have a note that says, "Why are the diviners disappearing? What is the abbess doing with them? Oh, they're probably dead." Like, you come to that conclusion really, really quickly, but it's getting from point A to point dead that really just is the point of this book.
yeah,
And
and
it
like,
hurts.
well, and then let's talk about like what is happening. We learn that
Right.
these gods are not really gods. They're regular people who are using these like powerful objects and
Mm-hmm.
can do so and can be powerful by eating diviners.
Yes, because the diviner's blood is basically the water in the
Aisling
uh,
Cathedral.
yes, in the cathedral, like, and that water gives them longevity, and that's
Yes.
what they're doing.
And the more of the water you drink, you kind of become stone.
Right.
Which when she takes the blindfold off, we see that her eyes are white because of how many
Yes.
times she's drowned and dreamed and
Yes.
all the water she's consumed. And let me talk about what I love about that. Um, Sybil takes a good long hard look in the mirror, sees that
Mm-hmm.
she's drank enough Kool-Aid for there to be a difference between her and Rory and Maud and these people she's come to love and respect. But it's not too late. She still
No.
has time to not become like the oarsmen, like the people who eat the diviners, like the abbess who drinks the water. There's time. And the hairs are standing up on my arms. I remember being 19 and coming out of religious indoctrination, looking back on all the terrible things I'd said and done, and being like, but you know what? I'm young. There's still time. I can
Right.
still do so much good, and I'm not because like I think that's the thing that Sybil struggles with. Oh, I'm unlovable. Oh, I'm disgusting. Oh, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
pretty. I've been ruined. And Rory looks at her and goes, "No. Like at your heart you're good. You've taken the
Yeah.
shroud off. There's time
Mm-hmm.
to right the wrongs."
Mm-hmm.
And Sybil endeavors to do so. I love it. I
I
love
know.
it.
I know. I know. It's so. Rory. Rory in general, as a character, just grabbed me by the throat and shook me.
Yeah.
Because, like, from the beginning, this guy was down bad. At one point, somebody says the pretty one, and he immediately looks
Looks at
at
her.
Sybil, and it's just like, oh, you are so down bad for her.
Ugh.
And it's swoon worthy. There are people out there writing romance novels that want to write a male protagonist like Roderick Mendacious, and they can't, and it must eat them up inside. Later in the Colson Fair part, at one point he looks at Sybil and goes, "Which one?" Because Sybil has been hurt. And
Mhm.
he demands to know who hurt her so that he can end them. And I'm unwell. I was unwell
It
reading
did,
that.
and you know what? It didn't hit me like a "Who Did This to You" that I've read 10,000 times.
No, it was much, much darker
It was
and deeper.
so refreshing. If you have the Barnes and Noble special edition,
Special edition.
in the
Yes.
very back, they say, "Dark brooding men are also a highlight of your work. I'm sure more than a few readers will have swooned over the armor-fitting scene. What do you think is the secret to writing a compelling love interest?" And she says, "Your love interest doesn't know they're a love interest."
Correct.
Oh!
He's not going out of his way because he knows he's a love interest. He's going out of his way because that's who he is.
That, I've never heard it summarized so perfectly. I'm so tired of reading these love interests who just, they have good banter and he's hot.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than that. He's got to be a whole person. Like,
there's got to be yearning. Okay,
there has to be
yearning. There has to be care. There has to be those little moments that he does because he pays attention and gets, her those little gifty gift things,
when he pours the wax over her for the armor fitting.
What a charged scene. What a charged scene.
I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I had an armor fitting kink, but I do. More men pouring hot wax over people.
There are no words to describe the tension in that scene. If you have not read The Knight and the Moth, I need you to press pause. Go get it. Read it, and then come back, because nothing we say is going to come even close to describing how sexually charged and tense that scene was.
It's my heart was like pounding. And I have to say, as far as romanticies go, if you're tired of feeling like every romantasy is just ticking off boxes, ticking off trope boxes, this is such a great read, because
it's such a breath of fresh air.
It is a breath of fresh air. And also the villain in it, I don't know how to put it. The abbess is chilling, but she comes off in a way where you can understand why her praise might mean something to Sybil.
Yes.
Because she's like a bastion of this place where Sybil has grown up. And, her word means everything. And we learn later in the book that every time one of the girls goes to get drowned to do a dreaming, they draw straws. And at the beginning of the book, Sybil takes a long look at the straw and then takes one. In your brain, you're going, oh, she's trying to figure out which one's not the short straw. Wrong. No, she wants
to dream.
She wants to do it because she is addicted to the abbess's praise. And more than the power the abbess has, more than the way she looks and the way she talks, the validation that Sybil craves from her is horrifying. It's so scary. And I never really think about that being a villain's superpower, but it is in this.
It is. The abbess doesn't necessarily have a weapon. Like a proper weapon, like a sword or a cudgel or anything like that. She has her words that she uses to bring Sybil into the fold and keep her close and keep her naive and uneducated, because as we've learned, the more uneducated people are, the more likely they are to fall under certain masochistic, sadistic, fascist ideas.
Yeah.
So just to watch the abbess use her words, and she picks and chooses her praise
Yes.
and what she says and when she says it.
Yep.
Sociopathic behavior, truly.
It's chilling. And then, I mean, if it's okay to jump here,
Always.
at the very end, we
Uh-huh.
learn about who the gargoyle is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
everything
Yeah, we
starts to
do.
make sense. Why he's such a crybaby, why he kind of clings to Sybil,
Mm-hmm.
why he calls everyone Bartholomew. I'm getting sad.
I know.
So the gargoyle is one of the first diviners.
But real quick,
Yes.
this whole time he's been trying to tell Sybil a story.
Oh!
This entire time he's been trying to tell Sybil a story.
Oh!
And it turns out that it's his story.
It's his story.
His like beginning, his origin story. And when she finally decides to listen is when she discovers that he was the first.
And even worse, he's a fucking child.
Yes.
He's stuck, at least he became the gargoyle. He drank so much, we presume, that he
to become stone.
Yeah, he became a stone gargoyle very, very young. We learned that Bartholomew is his name.
Yes.
And he's been terribly lonely. He's a crybaby because he's a kid. And, then
But he's such a brave, courageous little boy.
Because he loves Sybil.
He loves Sybil so much that he is doing things that he probably normally wouldn't do because he needs to keep her safe. Because she's him. Ultimately, he sees himself in Sybil.
And moreover, I think what is particularly touching about Bartholomew is all stone. He's all stone. He's gone past the point of no return. But he's trying. He's trying to do right. He wants to save Sybil. He defends our heroes. And unfortunately, he's been damaged beyond repair. But he's still trying. And I think at the heart of this book, one of the things about it is that redemption is possible if you're willing to put in the work.
Yes.
If the thing that is standing between you and putting in the work is I'm unlovable, I'm unforgivable, that's not true. If you're willing to do the work. And we see Sybil and Bartholomew become more fulfilled, become happier, and find a family when they leave the Abbey and they start trying to undo all the harm that Abbey has done. It's not scary. It's not impossible. It's fulfilling. They find a purpose finally once they leave the Abbey. Because before, when they lived there, their purpose was to please the abbess, to get the abbess's approval. And when we finally come to the final confrontation with the abbess, she kind of goes down like a chump. Why? Because her influence over them has eroded entirely. And the tools she gave them are what ultimately are her end. But I don't know about you, Kayla. I kind of knew that she was not the big bad of this duology.
Yeah. No, again, I echo, please don't read the Red Queen and the Knight and the Moth back to back because you see it, you see the red flags, and then you ignore it because you're like, nah, no, there's no way. And then,
And then Benji's evil.
Yeah, I mean, but also, I don't know if I can articulate this in the way that my brain is processing it, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
There's this continuous thread of sisterhood in this book, and what is the one thing that tends to wreck that, to break it?
Uh-huh.
Men,
Yeah.
especially men who believe that they're entitled to a woman and her affections.
Her unconditional loyalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it just felt appropriate
Yeah.
that was where the big bad was. It did also I feel like it did also kind of harken back a little to One Dark Window. And the big bad there was really,
I
it
do.
wasn't the king, it wasn't the Nightmare King. It was I can't remember his name because I have trauma blocked it,
Yeah.
but
The main king guy.
yeah, yeah,
Elm's dad. Um
yeah.
it I wanna talk about that more, because I have a theory about Rachel Gillig. Um,
Okay.
but more on Benji and Rory. Um, there is throughout the way Benji is done as the
Mm-hmm.
sleeper villain is so
It's
good.
so good. It's so good.
She plants these little seeds. She sticks up these tiny, tiny red flags all along that
Like
get
him
worse.
drinking the water,
Him drinking the
right?
water.
Him drinking the water, him having that little conversation,
Him quietly sowing dissent around his
dissent.
most loyal knight, like
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Him inviting Rory's honest criticism, but not really valuing it. He lets him
Right.
say things, but he doesn't take it to heart. And then
Correct.
him being like, Sybil, you will have your freedom. You will have everything you need to start over. All I ask is that you're undyingly loyal to me for it. So like
Mm-hmm.
he's not he's not being a good king and doing the right thing because it's the right thing. He's doing it to accrue power, which
Yes.
there's a parallel drawn between Benji and Rory the whole book. Rory is doing things because he understands what it means to be this way. He
Mm-hmm.
understands intimately wanting better for yourself. He wants to change things. He wants the system to be better. He doesn't want any more maidens having to drown. He wants an
Right.
end to Aisling Cathedral. And Benji wants to be regarded as a good king. He's at his heart a populist, which sounds good on its surface, but when you think about what makes a populist, it's accruing power. They want to do
Mm-hmm.
what's popular for power and not because it's right.
Right.
And that is a precarious thing. So at the
Because
end,
it can quickly turn. It
it
can
can quickly
quickly
turn.
turn in a direction that leads to the harm of so many people.
Well, and if you don't really stand for anything, like
What will
that's
you
different.
fall for?
What will you fall? What? Hey, what will you fall for? Uh,
Yeah.
no, like legitimately, that's what's so dangerous about Benji at the end because he fulfills all of his promises to Sybil, and then once he's gotten what he wants, he reveals his true motivation, and a crying Bartholomew is torn away from Sybil and left with Rory.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
The
I was
Bartholomew
unwell.
crying was my 13th reason.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely not. What?
No,
Um,
because think about how much he's already lost. All the diviners that he's lost, all the diviners that he's had to see disappear,
yep,
to become a meal for, one of the omens.
yep,
And here he is thinking, oh, well, now maybe I can have, Sybil will stay.
yeah.
Like Sybil's gonna stay. And then she doesn't. She doesn't stay.
I want to read the last lines of the book, because
Yes, please.
this conversation is chilling. The knighthood came into the courtyard, and I was just as I'd been all those weeks ago, barefoot in the apple orchard, martyring myself. Have a little faith, Six, Benji said, his voice stilted. Can't you see I've set you free? I looked over my shoulder, the ghost of Aisling still on me, cold, beautiful, and disapproving. Free, boy king? You don't need the signs anymore. You've seen this world for what it is, a tale of lurid contradictions, a true story and also a lie. You've known coin, knowledge, strength, intuition, love, life, and death, and beaten them all at their craft. You've known everything, diviner, and to be all-knowing, the king of Trom smiled at me, his future queen. What is a god, if not that? And that is the scariest thing about Benji. Benji knows that he knows everything. He knows what he's doing is wrong. And unlike Sybil, who has seen and known everything and has decided, I'm going to do better, he goes, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use everything I've learned to prop myself up. And, I mean, chilling. Like, a problem as old as time itself is this manipulation and pretending to be ignorant while knowing everything and leveraging it. And that's where we stand at the end of the day, are these three parties, the people who don't know any better and refuse to look deeper and perpetuate a system. The people who do know better and decide to use the system. And then the people like Sybil who have opened their eyes, can't live with it, and want to fix it. And we're all just waiting for the uneducated and the Sybils to come together against the ones manipulating the system. And that's so hard. And
it is so hard.
The next book I am so excited for, because it's such a heightened stakes. Now everything is known. What do we do with that information now that we know everything? And this is where I'd like to get into my theory about Rachel Gillig. A duology is a perilous endeavor, because usually what happens is the first installment is incredible. It has so much in it. It's packed to the gills, and then leaves you on a cliffhanger where you need that next book now. And then you get the next book, and understandably, the author struggles to fit a traditional 3-act structure into 2 acts and execute everything satisfyingly, tie up all the loose ends, and make you feel like you've read a completed story. When I read the Shepherd King duology, the first one I was like, this was good. This is 4 stars. This has set up a compelling sequel. I can see everything being tied up neatly in the next one. And then I read the next one, and I was like, whoa, I was not prepared for how good this was going to be. And I feel like with The Knight and the Moth, she has not only continued this formula of, a first act villain and a second act villain, an overarching conflict that is tied to both books, but she's made the first book feel like how I felt when I read the second in the Shepherd King duology.
Yes.
And I am
Which
so
is horrifying. No, I mean, also excited. I'm scared to death.
I'm scared.
Because if this is as good as it is, and she's so good writing that second book, I need to start investing in probably tissues.
I don't know.
My favorite sugary treats.
Any serotonin-inducing thing I can get my hands on.
I need to be employed before I read the second book to this. Otherwise, I'm done.
Yeah, you need therapy, is what you're saying. You need health insurance. You have therapy.
I have therapy. I have therapy.
Then there's no excuse.
My therapist cannot help me unpack all of this.
It's such a clever, smart, well done book.
Will she ever not have banger lines? I've got some lines here that we're just gonna go
Go.
down. Okay. At one point, Sybil goes, "You're remarkably difficult to like." And Rory responds with, "You'd like me better if you called me Rory." And she says, without thinking, "I'd like you better if you were on your back again." And of course, Rory immediately clocks the innuendo there. And she doesn't, because she does not have that much experience with people outside of her sisterhood
Yes.
to really understand what it is that she's saying.
All she's
until she
thinking
sees the
about,
look on his face.
she just is thinking about how good it felt to tackle that bitch.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that scene was
Which
incredible.
I didn't know I needed.
Oh, I didn't know
That
I
was
needed
hot as
a
hell.
woman tackling a man to the ground like that.
No. I need it all the time
Loved
now.
it.
I will require that in the second book.
Amen.
The other thing I really liked, and I marked this for reasons that will become clear in a minute. "For nothing but ink and the persuasive quill can devise what is true," which at the time of reading this, I don't know if y'all know this about the United States, but we are in a fascist regime where the news is being controlled by the Nazis in power. So it just emphasizes the need for accurate journalism, especially in times of crisis, where if you don't say the truth and the brutal honesty, you're not going to get it. You're just not.
It's
It just
it's a novel that I read, and I didn't realize how topical this was until I finished it, until I closed it.
yes,
Which I think
correct.
is such a great way to do a theme.
It provides escapism until you're done, and then it hits you how relevant it is.
There's something very easy about doing 1-to-1 ratios when, having a theme. It's kind of, I don't want to say boring because I'm still engaged, but it's having it spoon fed to you is there's not as much interactivity in it. And
right.
I enjoyed how this made me work to engage with how relevant it was. And I don't know, I'm a sucker for, anything that criticizes organized religion. I've seen how it can be used and weaponized. And the greatest power of organized religion is to make you feel like you have all the answers, make you feel like you're wise and you don't need to dig deeper. And, this is not for me to determine. This is for a third party or somebody who,
right.
speaks on behalf of this third party to determine. And I just really liked how the Knight and the Moth was like, you have to have agency. You have to have accountability.
You have to have accountability. Put it on a billboard. Put that on my headstone. We are missing the plot here. Accountability. You can learn all that you want. You can deconstruct all of the things that are giving you privilege, and you can go ahead and start to do the work to make up for that. But none of it freaking matters until you hold yourself accountable and take accountability for yourself and your actions and all of that.
I think that, and the thing is that Sybil does suffer as she deconstructs. She's hurt as she learns more.
It's supposed to hurt.
It's going to hurt. But the whole time, she has Rory, she has Maud. Both of them are so utterly here for her journey and sympathetic. And I know that what the abbess tells her and what you're told when you're indoctrinated is that you go over there, they're going to hate you. They don't love you.
Right.
They don't care.
Right.
And they don't care if you find out you're wrong. It's so not the truth. It's so not the truth. Because what's so sad about people who are indoctrinated, people who are on the wrong side of history, the Rorys, the Mauds, they're rooting for you. They're actually rooting for you to, like, we're waiting. We're waiting.
Yeah.
And every time that you've been told that, like, somebody's, like, voting against you, voting against your interest, no, baby. We're actually voting for you when you won't. We want you to have universal health care, too. Rory and Maud want Sybil to be free. And they don't care how wrong she's been because she's working so hard to be better. And I just love the themes of this book being that admitting you're wrong, deconstructing, and doing the work is so fulfilling and gives you purpose. And
it gives you community, too.
I was literally going to say, it gives you community. She has a family after this.
She has a family.
She loses
She lost one family, and she gains another in the process.
And it's hard. But
and it hurts.
So much happier when she does it. And
until Benji comes in and then, decides to whisk her away so he can be a god king instead of just a boy king.
He took advantage. He took advantage of the fact that she was so busy, and it's valid. She's so busy deconstructing and working to right wrongs that she doesn't see all the while he's there setting things up.
Yep.
And I like this thing about Benji where, like, there were signs that they all ignored. But at the same time, fuck you, Benji. You took advantage.
Yes. Like, the part about community is that it involves trusting one another. And somebody who takes advantage of that trust does not mean that you stop trusting in your community.
Yeah.
It just means that somebody took advantage.
Yep. And, like, I think that's the thing is, like, some of the things that Benji said, you were kind of like, oh, we disagree there, but you're a good enough guy that we can probably work this out when push comes to shove. He was so good. Nope. He was so good at pretending like he was on their side that they put trust in him, and he took advantage of it. And I that's just such a good villain. Is there anything more evil than taking advantage of people who love and trust you?
No.
Crazy.
I mean, yes and no.
Yes, but the people who get to where they are take advantage of the love and trust they've garnered. Like, that's the most insidious, deeply rooted, hard to defeat power are the people who get there by taking advantage of love and trust. It's the hardest thing to tear apart is somebody who sunk their roots in like that. And I have no doubt that in the sequel to this, when we do have a showdown with Benji, it's going to be hard for Rory and Maud. Maud especially, to take down this boy that
they loved.
They loved
and
him.
Probably still love on some level, because it's hard when somebody you love betrays you.
Yeah.
It doesn't always mean that you're going to immediately stop loving them.
I think deep down, Maud especially, actually, Maud might believe he can be saved.
Yes.
And on the topic of Maud would have been such an easy character for us to be like, what is she doing here? Like, what is the point of this person? Did we just want another woman here and we've shoved her in? Rachel Gillig puts in so much work to make Maud feel like an important part of the community that we can't be without. And I love, especially about Maud, that she is a inherently maternal character whose purpose is not to be a wife and mother, but she's maternal. Those two things.
She can kick ass and she can take care of people.
I consider myself to be a deeply maternal person. I don't have the means or the interest to become a mother, but I love that I am maternal. It is a thing about myself that I love. And to see a character in this that has no interest in being a wife and mother but is maternal, I loved it. She gave me Ripley from Aliens vibes.
Yes. Yes.
I loved it.
100%.
And I think I would love to see more maternal but not mother characters in books, because that is a trait a lot of people, not just women, a lot of people have.
Yes.
That in books is like, wouldn't they make such a good mom by the end of this? Maybe. But they can want other things. They can be good.
What they do with their womb is their own business.
And I think it's time that we treat that thing like any other talent people have. Like, there are people who are good at writing fan fiction, but they don't want to be writers. People who are good at acting, but they don't want to be actors. We can have these things in us and not make them our whole identity. They can just be good things about us. And I think for a long time we've kind of ignored that maternity is the same thing. Being maternal is a talent that people can have that they don't have to. They can use it in their community.
In community. I was literally what I was just going to say. It's important to have in community. You have to have those more maternal figures, whoever they are, because they matter.
They do.
And it doesn't matter if they've produced a child. What matters is that they take care. That's what they bring to the table. They take care of others.
It truly, like, I have so many friends who are mothers, and I love to use like my love of being maternal to create a really good support system for my friends' kids.
Yes.
In times such as these that are so hard, whenever there's like a rough day happening, or if we've gone to like a protest or something, I like to make everybody a nice home cooked meal and like sit around and have community. And Maud is so deeply important to me because you know who she reminded me of? She reminded me of Maria from the Bone season a lot.
I was thinking the same thing.
Same brain. Every time.
Sharing a brain cell.
This is why I'm an honorary Maven, is because we have the same brain.
Correct. But yeah, when you started talking about seeing maternal characters in books that don't, have children, I immediately thought of Maria, because that's what she does for Paige. And not just for Paige, for all of them.
I would go as far as to say Nick Nygaard is also a maternal character.
He is.
It's his biggest strength is he.
Yes.
And he's called the fixer in the group. And I do think that being maternal is something that male characters can have too.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't. I mean, you could say paternal and then encompass everything,
but it doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't.
It doesn't feel the same.
Not yet.
Not that feeling paternal is a bad thing, or there's negative aspects to it. But when you think of maternal, there is a specific like vision that
we've ascribed certain things to that word
because of society and the patriarchal notion of it, blah 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 blah. And like when you think of a patriarch and paternal, there's different things that you think of.
Yeah.
And it just makes more sense for Nick to be maternal rather than paternal.
I think that eventually we can get to a place where paternal and maternal have the same connotations, but for now, maternal is the best way I can describe Nick Nygaard, Maria, and now Maud. And I think when I read Maria, I was like, I've never read another character like this. And then we got Maud, and I was like, oh, I think I have a type. I think I have a type that I like. I love a strong person like Maud, whose strength is her compassion. And I like that she sometimes sees her compassion as a weakness, too. Like, her loyalty to Rory is kind of her weakness in the end. Because she loves him. She cares about him. It's more than just being his knight. she sees him as someone to look out for. And I think I think that the
It just
cast in
hurts.
this, the cast in this is
Yes.
so deeply unaware that they're supporting characters in the best way because they're all
Right.
so complete.
This to me is more of a character driven story
It
than
is.
driven by plot.
I would
And
agree.
I enjoy those stories
Mm-hmm.
the most. Like, I don't need a plot. Give me a group of amazingly written, well thought out characters, flaws and all, and I will devour that book
And
over and over.
there's so much care to make sure that their personalities fit together very well.
Yes.
It wasn't like, let me think of the four coolest bitches I can think of and throw them
Right.
together. It's Rachel Gillig put a lot of care into these characters, and it
She
shows.
did.
And definitely, when writing it, wasn't thinking like, ooh, what arrows can be drawn to this book on an Instagram
Mm-hmm.
post?
Yeah.
More of that, please. I need more books where I can't tell that you were thinking about how you were going to market this.
Yes. You were just writing it just for because the story needed to be told and not because you wanted to sell it.
You know what I didn't expect in this? When we got cathedrals and stuff, the world builder in me, who is currently writing like a Christian mysticism based fantasy, was like, how are you going to justify these churches if there's no God? Like, what's going on? She did in the end. She did.
She did.
She
She
created
did.
like the omens. She created a religion and everything. Like, I was like, what are we doing having an abbess and an abbey? Where did that come from? Is Catholicism a part of this? Guess what? I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't care that there's no, like, we have
Still
cathedrals
really
without
good.
Catholicism. I do not care. It's kind of that rule of cool thing. Um,
Yes.
like, a lot of people attribute She Who Must Not Be Named doing a world that doesn't make sense but is so cool that we just went along for the ride. Guess
Mm-hmm.
what? She's not the only one. Rachel Gillig can craft a world where I'm like, hey, actually, in order for you to have cathedrals, there should be some type of Catholicism. Gargoyles are actually rooted in this religion. I do not care. I do not care. Do whatever you want, Rachel Gillig.
Free reign. Please have it.
Terry Pratchett, the same way. Just kind of threw things out, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. But it's so cool, I do not care. I
Yes.
do not care.
Yes.
The spirit is there. The spirit is there.
Yes.
The themes are there. You get it.
I trust you. I trust you.
I trust you.
Have at it.
And that's the stamp that I would put on the front of this. Rachel Gillig, I trust you.
Yes. And that's a very small list for me.
Yeah, me too. Like 5 people probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And some of them are kind of on and off on that list.
Depending on the story and...
Yeah. Yeah, if I read the back, I'm like, maybe I'll skip it. But, like, right now, it's like Rachel Gillig, Sylvia Marina Garcia, and Samantha Shannon are always there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
All right, readers and listeners, one last quote while I wrap this up.
Do it.
Because it's important to remember, you don't have to be good or useful for someone to care about you. Fun fact, I was streaming that day when I read that and proceeded to verbally read it to my chat and may or may not have instigated some semblance of hatred between my community and me, because they also did not want to get smacked in the face with that emotional quote. But it is important to remember, you don't have to be useful for somebody to care about you.
And anybody who says
Society-
that is using you.
Yes, correct. Capitalism and society will make you think that if you're not being useful, you're pointless, and that is completely untrue. There is absolutely no reason at all for anybody. Our use is not to be sold. It's not to be labor. It is to live our lives in whatever capacity that looks like for you. Unless you're a piece of shit, in which case, fall off a cliff, please.
Yeah, do that.
Listeners, this was another amazing episode of March and Mavens. I'm sure you all are missing Steph something fierce. Have a conversation with her. Don't come to me about it. Thank you again to our honorary maven, Izzy, for joining us. We
Thank you for
always love
having
having you here.
me.
We love having you. Please finish that book and release it so you can stop teasing me with it. That'd be great. Thank you.
So close, so close.
But listeners, thank you so much for your support. You know where to find us. You know where to find Izzy. Make sure you give Izzy all the support on Instagram and all the other social medias. I love you all very much, and we will see you in the next episode.